Okay, so I wasn't able to implement everything in the server and client, but I was able to create all the classes, and they work individually. So I guess I'll start with the request.h. It has a constructor that all of them use, and it's then every other function besides the constructor is a pure virtual function that the other ones implement. And I made this name function, even though I don't ever use it. And then I guess here's the where's it implementation of the request channel. It's just that's just the constructors, all that's implemented in here. The others are virtual, so they're in the other. So then let's go to FIFO.h. It's all I changed in FIFO was the constructor. I just added this to it, this part, so I could transfer the buffer capacity between each thing, since it was needed in some of them. And I just the only thing I changed in the CPP file was I added this to it. And then for the MQ request, I just implemented all the functions from the parent, from the request channel class, and they were implemented here with a very similar concept to the FIFO. And then the only real difference is, I guess, the names, and then how you close them is a little different. But and then I set the message size for the queue equal to the buffer capacity, so that way it doesn't like overload. And then for the SMH, or the shared memory queue one, here's the header. Yeah. And then this was implemented in, so, and then the name is used to open a shared memory, and then it's the size of it is set to the buffer size, and then it is mapped to where it can read, write, and then it's shared. And then these names are created for the semaphores, and the reader one can read only, and the writer one writes. And then the reader one is initialized to 1, and the writer is initialized to 0. And then for write, it's the reader waits, and then it copies to the memory. And then the writer, it posts, and it returns the length of the buffer back to, so that way the actual request channel for shared memory can return something. And then read is the opposite, basically. And then the shared memory request channel, here's the header. It uses the shared memory queue pointers to implement the shared memory request channel in a manner that is very similar to the queue request channel, just using the as our shared memory queues instead. And then, so what I wasn't able to do was implement the dynamic binding with like I didn't have time to implement this part with the I, so, but it does work. Like since I didn't implement that yet, I have to change it manually here to show that it works for each one. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is show that the FIFO works like from project 1. So I'll make it, and then client, it's -P1, and the time is 0.004, and the ECG number is 1, and that returns this, which is the correct number. And then for 2 for FIFO, we'll do that. And then so that returns the same thing. And then we can do the 1,000 data points. So the way I do that is, the T has to be negative, so we'll do it for person 5, and then T will be -1 just to get the 1,000 data points. And then -E, it's gonna grab the data points for both people at once, so it'll grab 1 and 2 at the same time. Yeah, okay. So, and then I don't know why that's not working. I just copied it from the document. But, okay. So here's x1.csv. And then here it is from 5.csv, and then they're the same. And then, okay. And then so. And then we'll show client, and then -F for the file 2.csv, and then with the buffer set to 512. Okay. So Yeah, so they're the same file. And then yeah. And then so I guess I can show that these still work with like the request channel, and then so then it still worked. And then we'll do the diff thing. Yep, still the same file. And then we'll do shared memory next. Yep, still the same file. And then I'll show that, so here's to show that the destructor works for the shared memory. We'll list, and then I'll go to the, let me look, so it's, and we'll list here. And yeah, so the destructors work for both of them. Just the only thing I wasn't able to implement was just the -i thing. And so yeah, because it was just giving a really weird error. Then I don't have time to figure it out right now. So yeah, that's it.